Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do a little bit of a BYOP, and I'm going to do a monthly series on my channel this year where I build kind of BYOP, and I want to use these two palettes here. So I'm going to take off the lid so you can see them better. We have my round singles, which looks like this, and then we have my Cleona singles, which looks like these. And the reason why I want to kind of make it this way is because I'm doing a series this year. It's the year of usage project plan, where I want to use all my single eyeshadows 25 times in the year. So I want to cycle through these palettes and have like focus kind of palettes, because I don't know if you can see here in the background, I have two massive piles of eyeshadows, which is all my singles, and it's quite tedious to take them out every single day and go through. Yes, if I'm looking for a specific color, it is okay to do that, but not every single day. So I want to have a good rotation here to be able to just reach for my single shadows more. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to take out some shadows from here. These were my like pre-built like favorite kind of shadows that I did last year, but I have gotten more shadows since then. I also just feel like some of these are a bit repetitive and I don't want to have in this palette right now, or this palette, just because of the season, or it's too similar to other things I'm panning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these two every month and refresh them. I won't take everything out, but I will go through and refresh them, and then yeah, kind of have whatever's in them as my focuses for the month. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to jump into the video, but before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So I'm going to start with this palette right here, I think, and we're going to go to the singles, like the Cleona singles next. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and we're going to start off with this palette right here. I don't know which way I should go, maybe this way. So this palette right here is my single shadows from different brands. These are circle shadows, and I have all of them in this pile here to replace them afterwards. But what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to go through and take some shadows out that I feel like doesn't kind of suit the season, or that I don't want in here right now. And as you can see, I also have kind of some missing shades. They might be in my palette for the year, or been in BYOPs, things like that. So that's fine, I'm just going to keep them out. But yeah, I'm going to go through this and take some shadows out. So first up, I do like these kind of lighter transition shades. I think that pinkier tones are great for the beginning of the year. This one's a nice transition too. However, I'm going to take some of these masks out because I feel like some of them are interfering with my Panda palette. Especially this shade here, just right off the bat, I feel like it's quite close to Mulberry in my Panda palette. Not exact, but I feel like it's similar enough that I'm going to take that out. I'm also going to take out this deepest shade, but that shadow is a little bit fragile, and when I use a magnet on it, it kind of takes the pigment out. So I'm actually going to use an earring that I have with me and push this shade out. It is actually a little bit crumbly, which is not ideal, but I might be able to fix that once it's out of this palette. But yes, there we go. I'm going to take that out as well. So that is the shade here, also from Sydney Grace. Is there anything else I want to take out from here? Looking at these mattes, I think this here is quite similar to the tone that I'm panning. So this one can come out too. I think that's also from Sydney Grace. But I think those can stay. This one I think can stay. And this one can stay. I think those are good for now. So I think they're going to stay. Moving on to the shimmers here, we have a couple different ones. We have some iridescent shades right here, and I think I'm just going to keep this in as options for now. I need to play around with them, see what I like, but I think these three are good for options. We have this beautiful shade here, which is quite a versatile too, quite a nice shimmery shade that can stay in. So can this one. This one, however, is quite similar to a shade in my Panda palette, in the shimmers palette, the singles palette, so that can come out. I do like these kind of shades for winter, so they can stay in, the same as this one. This one can also stay in, so can this one. However, again, I have a similar shade. It's actually a dupe for this shade here in my Panda palette, so this one can come out. And this one here is quite similar to it. It's not exact, but it's quite similar, so this one can also come out, and that gives us some space to work with. So I think that's going to be it for taking out shades. I feel like the rest of these look quite nice, and I feel like I'll be happy to work with all of these. So I'm gonna stick with that for now, and we're gonna fill this up with some more shadows. So I'm gonna move this to the side here, and then we're gonna look through the different palettes. So first up we have this palette here with some kind of neutral shades, and I definitely want to pull in this shade here because I already have quite a few uses on it. And I think that's going to be nice, so that can come in. I think I'm just going to pop them in wherever for now. I don't really need to organize this anyway because I'm going to kind of switch things out all the time anyway. So that can come in. The only other shade I'm looking for, like looking at right here, is this one from Shine by SD. This here is the shade Break of Dawn. This one is also Shine by SD, by the way, that's Golden Girl. But this one I think can also come in. But I think that's going to be it for this palette. We are moving on to the second palette. We have some greens, which is quite fun. Although greens is not really like a wintry kind of color for me. So I'm not sure if I want to pull any of these in, if I'm being completely frank. Maybe I should pull in one or two. Maybe it's one. Question is what? Maybe I should pull in like one of these more kind of cool tone greens, or maybe one of these just to have, because I have so many similar shades here. So maybe I should pull in one of them. I'm looking at this one here, which comes from Juvia's Place the Tri palette in the shade Masai. That one could be fun to pull in. I might keep it in until spring, and that will work really nicely. And at least then I have an option for something green. Maybe should I put in a deeper green then as well? Or should I stick it there? I'm gonna stick with that, I think, for now. So that one is done too. We have this palette here, which has more kind of mauvier tones and peachier tones. And again, in here, there might be a couple shades that I feel like would be suitable. Question is what I want to pull in. I have so many like same shades here. It's really hard. Maybe like I'm looking at one of these three potentially. Maybe this one, which is the shade October Odyssey Light from Sydney Grace. I think that one can come in. So that's one. Maybe I want to pull in more of a pinkier tone shade as well, like maybe this one here is quite nice. This one is also from Sydney Grace. It's the shade Siren. I think I'm going to pull that one in too. Alright, so yeah, I think that's going to be it from this palette. Here we have some silver and cool tones. This is definitely a palette that I feel like is very much like kind of wintry, so this one would definitely work to pull something in. The shade that's sticking out to me the most is this shade here. I think that's from Terra Moons. This here is the shade Butterfly Nebula. It's a super shifty shade. That one is definitely standing out to me, so I'm going to pull this one in. Anything else from this palette? I feel like maybe some of these grey tones would be nice. I might pull in this one. Like a really nice cool tone grey. This is the shade Thunderbird from Sydney Grace. I think that might be good. Anything else? Maybe a shimmer. No, I'm going to leave it because I have a couple more palettes to go through, and I don't want to fill up the palette. Here we have kind of more warm tones, so I don't think I'm going to pull anything in from here. I'm not really feeling super warm tones right now. Or should I pull in something? Just to have like the variety. Maybe. I'll come back to this palette because we have two more to go. I want to see what's in the rest. Here we have blues and greens. This is definitely more cool tone greens, so that could be fun. But again, I already have that other green. This is so hard because I have such a limited space in here. But I feel like maybe something, one of these like blue, kind of purpley blues is quite nice. Maybe I want to pull in one of those. Like, and also these are kind of not like the most wintry blues, are they? So maybe I want to pull in something different. Maybe this one actually, because this one is more of a winter blue for me. This here is the shade Nightfall. I think I'm going to pull that one in too. Yeah, that gives me variety. But maybe then I want to have a blue shimmer too. I do have this one already. But maybe I want to have something different too. I think this shade here is quite stunning and it's definitely more wintry. So that one can come in as the last shade. But let me have a look at the last palette too. Just so I don't miss anything. This here's pinks and purples. Super stunning, but I just don't feel like this is the time for these right now. So I'm going to pull in this one right now, and that's going to be that palette finished. So yeah, this is this kind of like random palette that I'm going to work on in January. A bit random, but I just want some options again. I'll see how I go with these shades, and I will switch maybe some out in like February. And yeah, I just want to get some use out of these before I switch them out. Maybe I'll continue getting use on these, and maybe some of them have like 15 uses and I might keep them in for another month, stuff like that. But this is going to be the palette for the first month of the year. I did just realize that I have this palette here too with my BYOP for December for Christmas. That could have been nice to pull through, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to leave this palette, I think, because I already used these shades a little bit, and maybe I can come back to it later in February or something like that, or maybe I can just keep it as it is and have that as another option for more shades to reach for. So then we have my Cleona palette right here, and there's definitely again a couple of shades that I want to take out from here. First up, this purple. I love this purple. It's one of my favorite purples in my collection, but purples are not really what I'm feeling at the moment, so this one is going to come out. I'm going to keep this one in. It's a very wintry shade. This one, however, though, is not the most wintry shade, so I'm going to take that one out. I think I'm going to keep in these greens, at least I have some green options, so maybe I would take one of them out. I think maybe I'll take, yeah, one of them out. I think I'm going to take out this shade and keep that more kind of textured one, because it's a little bit deeper, which is more something that I reach for this time of year. This one I'm going to keep in because it's a bit more wintry again. This one is Mural. I love that shade. Maybe I'll keep that in to work with those greens if I want a kind of green shade. And this one I'm also going to keep in. I think it's more, again, a wintry kind of green. It's not really though, but I think that's one that's going to be a good option. We have a gold here that could be good as an option. Same as this one, but maybe we don't need both of these. Which one should I take out though? I think I will take out this shade, which I think is Corrosion. Yes, it is. So that one can come out, and I'll keep in that other shade, which I believe is Foiling. This orange can come out, and that's more of a summery shade for me. This here though, I'm gonna keep, no, I'm gonna take this one out. Very indecisive, but I'm gonna take that out. I mean, I'm gonna keep this one in. Bloodline I'm gonna keep in. This orangey tone I'm gonna take out. All of these pinks, there's quite a few ones. I don't think I'm gonna take all of them out, but some of them I will. What is this shade here? Scepter. I think I'm gonna take that one out too. This one here is more of a cool tone pink, like a bubblegum pink. I'm going to keep that one in. This one is quite a fun pink as well. Maybe I'll keep that one in. I love this shade here. It's one of my absolute favorites. But I don't need so many pinks, do I? Yeah, I'll take this one out here, which is the shade Vermilion. What is this shade? This is Palace, I believe. Yes, Palace is one of my absolute favorites. I think I'll keep that one in. This one here, I have a similar shade in my Panda palette, so I'm going to take that one out. That's Blaze. And then this pink I can also keep in. And I think for Iridescent, again, I'm just going to keep them as is now, because I feel like I have a good variety and this is a good place to start. So those are going to stay the same. So then again, let's move on to choosing what's going to go in here. So I'm going to go through my Cleona palettes here on the side. So first up here, we have some more kind of jewel tones and deeper shades. Maybe I want to pull in one of my jewel. I'm actually going to switch these around because it's easier then. So I think I'm going to take one of these like deep jewel tones out. I can use it as liners and stuff like that. So I think this one here is really like speaking to me. This is the shade Spire. It's a really, really deep blue, but I think that one will be fun as like a, again, liner or something like that, wearing it out the corner. And then at least I have started working on these really deep shades. Anything else from there? No, I think I'm going to stick with that one for now. Let's see here. Anything else that's sticking out to me? I think this shade here is the purpley one. What is this one called? This is the shade Lapis Lazuli. This one is also sticking out to me a little bit, so I'm going to pull that one in. More of a cool toned option. Anything else? Another kind of bluish shade, but I think this one is also fun. I think this is the shade, it's the shade Tower. I think another more kind of cool toned shade that could be fun to play with now in winter. But I think that's going to be it for this palette. Second palette here. Okay, I just realized this is my iridescent shades. I didn't go through them earlier, but I had a couple iridescent shades anyway, so I'm going to leave these for now for the round singles. We have 2 more Cliona palettes left to go. So here we have some more. I do, like I said, have quite a few pinks already, so I'm thinking maybe skipping over the pinks. I have so many beautiful shades, it's so hard to decide. I think I'm definitely going to pull out this one here. That is sticking out to me. This is Lineage, I believe. Yes, Lineage. That is going to be fun, so that can come out. A bit more of a vibrant shade. Another kind of neutral-ish shade that could be fun to play with is this one here. So my camera cut off, but I hope you heard me. I'm going to pull in the shade 2, which is the shade Vault. I think that one is a nice neutral shade. Another one that is sticking out to me is this blue right here with a pink shift. This one here is the shade Tessera. Beautiful one, again a bit different from everything else. Anything sticking out to me? Maybe one of these more. I'm pulling in cool tone shades a lot, but I feel like it's the season to work on them, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing that. So I'm looking at this shade. It's a bit more of a grungier kind of shade. This is the shade Sculpture. I'm going to pull that one in. Maybe I'll pull in this one too. Here, this is the shade, what's it called again? Statue Garden. I know I have a couple uses on that one already. And I think that might be it for this palette. I might come back to it later. We'll see what else I pull in. Actually, I'm going to pull in another pink. Because I said I have a lot of pinks, but this pink here is very kind of like a wintry pink to me. It's a very cool tone pink, which I feel like is different from everything else. This here is the shade Spotlight. So I'm going to pull that one in. Yes, I think that might be it now. I'm going to stop with this palette and go to the last one. And we have this last palette, which mainly has iridescent, which I already have a lot of, so I won't pull them in. But we do have some more shades here. But what do I want to pull in from them? Where do I even want to pull anything in from them? I'm looking at this shade. I think this is one that I worked on last year. So that could be good to pull in just for the usage sake. Yes, it is. It's the shade Renaissance. It's another pink, shocker, but I'm going to pull it in because I know I have used that already. Then we have 2 more spots. So question is what I should pull in. Maybe I should pull in another one of these deeper shades. This is one of the Dimensional Multichromes. This here is the shade Oxidize. I think that can be fun as like a deeper alternative. And then we have 1 more spot. I think I'm not going to go back to the last palette to have a look, because actually maybe even the first one, just to see if I missed anything. Let's have a look in here. There's just so many beautiful options that it's so hard to pick. Maybe I'll pull in one of these lighter shades. I know this here is Ripple. I might pull that one in. Yes, it is. Because I know Laura Force likes this one, and I've been wanting to reach for that one. And it's a bit different from everything else. It's a little bit similar to that, but not really. So that will be my last shade. So I think that is going to be it for this palette. Again, looks very random to me, but I want some different options, and I think I got them here. So that is going to be the second palette. So for the month of January, again, we have these 2 palettes to play with. I think I have some beautiful kind of more cool tones, some pinkier tones, some purples, I have some pops of greens, and I do also have my palette and everything else that I'm planning on to work together with these. And if I feel like I'm missing a color, I can always go into the other palettes, but at least I have something to work off of with this. Hopefully you can catch it in frame, but yeah, I'm excited for these 2 palettes. Again, I'm going to go rotate through these every month. I won't take everything out. I will do something similar to this and just talk you through kind of what I'm focusing on. So that's going to be it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.